everyone, let's build an economy-sized travel trailer that is scaled for minifigures for today's Lego brick tutorial. Let's begin building the chassis, starting with a 1x12 Technic brick. We're going to skip 3 holes on the side. We're going to place a Technic pin, and the same for the other side. Now let's make 2 of these. Take one of the assemblies, let's place in a Technic pin with stud, and we're going to place a stud on this side. Now this is going to be our cleanout valve. Now let's take one of our pieces. We're going to take a 2x4 modified plate with Technic pins. These are also axles, and I want to slip these in these middle holes. And we're going to use these to strengthen up the base of our chassis. And we're going to attach the other piece as well. Now you just have to slowly work these in until it snaps in place. Now let's secure all these with a 6x8 plate. Just make sure everything's lined up. Maybe a little easier to flip this over and just slowly press everything down. On the left hand side, let's place a 6x8 plate perpendicular to the previous. Now let's place an 8x8 plate right next to the 6x8 plate on this lip. Now let's flip the assembly over. We're going to take a 1x4 plate and place it right here, followed by a pair of 2x3 plates. Let's slide in a 6x8 plate right underneath the 2x3 plates and set down a 2x6 plate right here where it's offset by 1 stud. Really press that down. Now let's take a 1x2 modified plate with a ball hitch assembly, place it right here, and we're going to lock that together with a 2x3 plate. Take a pair of 1x4 modified bricks that have a slot in the middle. We're going to place them in this area. Now these are going to serve as the track mechanism for the retractable step. Take 5 1x4 plates. We're going to place one here on the bottom left, and take the other 4. We're going to place these 2 on the top right and 2 on the bottom right. This is going to build up the base of our chassis and deck for the travel trailer. Take 2 1x6 plates. We're going to place this one on the right by the 1x4 plate, and this one in the top left. Let's build our retractable step, starting with a pair of 1x2 plates with slide. We're going to lock these together with a 1x2 flat tile. Now note the orientation of the tile. I want to make sure the tile is facing this section of plates. So I'm going to flip this upside down. I'm going to slide it in like so, all the way up to the edge. Now for the actual step, start with a 2x6 plate. Let's place a 2x4 flat tile right in the center on one end, and we're going to place this to where the step hangs right over the edge. So it's flush with this section of the 1x2 plates with slide. This should just slide in nice. It locks in place. And let's finish up this area with a 1x6 plate and around the hitch with a pair of 1x2 plates. Fill in these 2 holes. For the stabilizer jack, start with a 1x2 bearing base. Let's place the 2x2 bearing plate inside as shown to where this is on the outside. Now I want to take a set of studs, stack them on top of one another. Let's make 2 of these, and I'm going to set them on the bottom of the bearing base. And we're going to need to make 4 of these in total. Let's take 2 of our stabilizer jacks. We're going to place these right by the hitch, so where they're inside the frame, and 2 more on this side. I'm going to place these right up against this edge. Make sure they're folded inward as well. For the rear bumper, start with a 1x8 plate. Let's place a 1x8 flat tile on top of the plate, flip it over, and then take a pair of 1x2 by 1x2 downwards angular plates. I'm going to place these on as shown. Now let's flip over our chassis and install our bumper. Place it on the left-hand side, followed by a pair of 1x1 flat tiles in this corner. Now this is a bit unstable, so we're going to have to work very slowly. May have to hold under the bottom a bit. And also it helps to keep your tiles straight as well. Here, let's place down a 1x2 plate, and in this area, a 2x4 plate. This is going to be the bottom of the shower pan. In this corner, a 1x1 plate. On the right hand side, skip 2 studs, and we're going to place down 4 2x2 jumper plates. Now, these are going to be used to attach the bed that we'll be building in a moment or two. Also, to make it better, we'll hold underneath the bottom. In the top left, let's place a 2x2 jumper plate right here. And we're going to tile the deck. I'm going to start right here in this corner and place down 2 1x1 flat tiles. And I'm going to place down several different tiles. This is going to be our bathroom, this is going to be our living area, and this is the bedroom. And finally, a 1x1 flat tile right on top of this 1x1 plate. Take 2 1x4 plates, place them on top of one another, and place them right on top of the rear bumper assembly. Now I want to surround that with a pair of 1x2 bricks. Take a 1x1 brick with one stud on the side. Let's place a stud on that. And we're going to place this right here. This is going to be our electrical hookup. A 1x2 brick. And another 1x1 brick with one stud. Place a stud on that. This is going to be our water hookup. And place this right next to the 1x2 brick. Now let's rotate the chassis over. Right here, we're going to place a few wall elements. So I'm going to grab a couple of these 1x2x1 triple wall elements, place them here, and we're going to place a regular 1x2 wall element here and another one across from it, as well as another triple 1x2 wall element here. Makes a nice shower pan. Let's finish up this area here with a 1x2 and a 1x1 brick. Here, let's set down a 1x4 brick, and here 1x1 and 1x2 bricks. Let's work in this area starting with a pair of 1x8 plates. Place them on top of one another, and we're going to set down 2 2x4 plates on the top. We're going to set this assembly right above the axles to level everything off. And 2 1x2 bricks in these two areas in the floor. And in this area, a 1x2 brick and a 1x1 brick with one stud. Now on the top right, let's set down a pair of 1x4 bricks. Strengthen up this back. Now, in this area, let's start with a 1x2 brick. Now let's take a 1x2 modified brick that has a cross hoe. Place that right in the center. We're going to use that to attach our propane tank, and another 1x2 brick. And let's wrap around this side with a pair of 1x4 bricks, and here a 1x1 brick. Let's fill in this area with a 1x2 and a 1x1 brick. On the left, let's place a 1x6 plate, a 1x4 plate to secure our hookups, and a 1x2x2 corner plate. Set down a 1x4 plate right here. Now let's skip a stud. We're going to place a 1x2 plate and a 1x3 plate right above the opening. Now let's finish this off here with 2 1x4 plates. Lock all that together. Now on the right hand side, we're going to place a 1x2x2 corner plate to secure this area and a 1x2 plate. A set of 1x4 plates. Now right here we're going to skip 2 studs and place the other 1x4 plate. Another 1x4 plate right here in the front to secure our propane connector, and 2 1x2x2 corner plates to lock these corners together. Let's start our next layer of plates on the left hand side, starting with a pair of 1x4 plates. We're going to place another 1x4 plate on the top, as well as a 1x2 plate right here. In this area, a set of 1x3 plates. Now remember to skip this spot, and we're going to continue on with a 1x4 and 1x6 plates. Back on the right hand side, we're going to set down a 1x6 and 1x3 plates. And right here, a 1x4 plate. Now in this area, we're going to smooth tile this off with 5 1x2 flat tiles. We're going to be making a contoured front that's going to fit on the front of this camper. And we're going to need to smooth it off so we can slide it in place. Now this time on the right hand side, we're going to place down a pair of 1x4 plates perpendicular to one another. Leave this stud open, and across from this, a 1x3 plate. Right here, let's set down a 1x1 Technic brick. Now let's build up a column with 3 plates. I'm going to place these on top of one another, starting with a tan, sand green, and white. Now if you want to straighten these up, you can press these down on a flat surface. Make sure all the bricks are lined up. And we're going to place this right here. Now moving on, we're going to skip a stud and place a 1x6 and 1x4 plate. Another 1x1 Technic brick right in this slot, and a 1x3 plate. Now let's take a transparent orange 1x1 plate, place it in the corner, followed by a 1x6 plate. Make sure that's pressed down firm. And another transparent orange 1x1 plate in the top left corner. And we're just going to wrap this up with a 1x3 and a 1x2x2 corner plate. For the full-size bed, start with a 2x3 plate. Let's flip this over, and we're going to take 2 1x4 plates, place them on top of one another. I'll place this on the right hand side. Let's make another assembly and place this one on the left hand side. Take a 2x3 plate, let's place a 1x3 plate under one side, and I'm going to slide this in on this part of the assembly. And take another 2x3 plate, place it on the other end. Flip that over. Now let's place a 1x6 plate right in the center. Take 12 1x1 by 1 1/3 brick with bow. We're going to place 6 on the left and 6 on the right hand side. On the top, set down a 1x3 jumper plate. We're going to fill these 15 studs in with flat tiles. Now you can do any pattern you wish. I'm going to use a classic checkerboard pattern for a nice quilt. So I'm going to start in the top left and place this 1x1 flat tile right here. And try to get them as straight as possible. Now for pillows, we're going to set them right on top of the 1x3 jumper plate. They're just going to hang on by one stud, and now we have our nifty full-size bed with comforter. Let's set our bed on these 4 jumper plates like so. Now the purpose of the jumper plates is to offset the bed where we have a half a brick thickness on both sides for a little extra room. For our left side cabinet, start with a 1x1 brick. Place a 1x1 brick with one stud right on top. Now take a 1x2 plate. Let's place a 1x2 flat tile and place it right on the stud. And we're going to crown this off with a 1x2 flat tile. For the kitchen sink, take a pair of 1x2 plates, set them side by side, and lock them together with a 1x2 plate. let's place another 1x2 plate on the top, followed by a 1x2 jumper plate. In the front, take a 1x2x1 wall element that has 3 sides, place it in the front, and a tap on top of the jumper plate for a water faucet. For our right side cabinet, take a 1x2 plate. Let's crown that off with a 1x2 flat tile. Place it right on a 1x1 brick with 1 stud, and we're going to crown this off with a 1x2 flat tile. For the oven and range, start with a 1x2 plate. Place a 1x2 transparent clear plate on top and a 1x2 modified plate with slide. Now let's slide in a 1x2 brick in the back, followed by a pair of 1x2 jumper plates to lock in this assembly. And let's place a frying pan right on the top. Now let's take our lower cupboards. We're going to start with the left-hand cupboard, place it right here. Then I'm going to place the kitchen sink right next to it. Then this cupboard right here, that's why it was left out on the back, fits right over those 2x4 plates. And then I'm going to place our oven and range right on top next to the other piece of the counter. For the bathroom sink, start with a 1x2 brick, place a 1x2 plate on top. On the right hand side, take a 1x1x1 wall element, place it in the right hand side, and a 1x1 brick on the left hand side, and a tap on top of the brick for a small water faucet. For the toilet bowl, take a 2x2 inverted dome, place a 2x2 round flat tile right on the top. Now let's install our bathroom sink. We're going to set it right on top of the 1x2 plate. And for the toilet bowl, we're going to set that down right in here. I'm going to leave this notch in the front to make it look a bit more authentic. Now back in the bathroom, take a 1x1 brick with 1 stud. We're going to place a transparent red stud on the front. I'll place this right here. We're going to need to make another one with the 1x1 brick and a transparent blue stud. Place that right in there for hot and cold water. In this area, a 1x2 brick. Take a 1x1 Technic brick. Let's place a Technic pin inside. We're going to skip 2 studs and place this right here, followed by a 1x1 brick. And in this area, a 1x2 brick. In this area right here, let's set down a 1x2 brick, followed by a pair of 1x1 angler bricks or headlight bricks. Now I want to face these off with a 1x2 radiator grill and place a 1x4 brick right here. Now in this area, we're going to start off with a 1x2 brick and a 1x3 brick. Here, a 1x3 brick. Now in this back side, place a 1x2 and a 1x3 brick. Starting here, let's place a 1x4 brick and a 1x2 brick. In this area, a 1x3 brick. Now let's place a 1x2 by 2 transparent black wall element right here for a little kitchen window. And we're going to proceed on with a 1x3 brick. Now right above the shower knobs, we're going to place a 1x2 plate and finish up this area with a 1x4 brick and a 1x3 brick. Let's take a 1x2x2 brick. We're going to place a foil print sticker on the front. I'm going to use this as a mirror, and I'm going to place this right behind my bathroom sink. Now I want to surround that with a pair of 1x2 bricks, and I'm going to place a 1x2 brick right here by the doorway. Now in this corner, we're going to set down a pair of 1x3 bricks, and I'm going to place a 1x2x2 transparent black wall element for a window. In this area, a 1x3 brick, and another 1x2x2 transparent black wall element. Now let's take a pair of 1x1 by 1 2/3 bricks with 2 vertical studs, place them on top of one another, and I'm going to set these right by the windows. Now I want to make sure that these studs are facing outwards towards the hitch. Now let's take a 1x1 brick with 1 stud. We're going to place a 1x1 brick on top, followed by a 1x1 plate, and take a 1x1 angler brick or headlight brick, place it right here. Now I'm going to take a 1x1 transparent yellow slope and place it on the headlight brick for a porch light. Let's place our column assembly right here. Now let's rotate the trailer, and here we're going to set down a 1x1 brick with 1 stud and a 1x2 brick with 1 stud. Now these are going to be used to attach our upper cabinets. Take 2 1x1 headlight bricks, let's place them right above the stove where they're facing outward. A 1x1 brick, followed by 2 more 1x1 headlight bricks right here. These are going to be the ventilation vents for the refrigerator. Now let's place a 1x2x2 corner brick right here, as well as a 1x1 brick. Let's set down a 1x4x3 wall element right in the shower stall. Now in this area we're going to place a pair of 1x2 bricks. Right above the bathroom mirror we're going to set down 2 1x1 bricks with 1 knob, and I want to face these bricks with a transparent clear 1x2 plate for a little light above the sink. And let's wrap up the bathroom with a 1x4x3 wall element and a 1x2 brick. Now, back in this area, we're going to take a 1x2 radiator grill, place it on top of the headlight bricks, as well as a 1x2 by 2/3 slope for the vent for the range. For our rear light, start with a 1x1 brick with 1 stud. Let's place a round 1x1 transparent red flat tile on top of the stud. We're going to make 3 of these. I'm going to take the other 2 and place them on top of the previous. Now we're going to need to make 2 of these in total. And let's place our rear light assemblies on top of the transparent orange plates. Let's take a 1x4x5 right-handed train door. I'm going to take a piece of glass and set it inside the door. And we're going to place the door in the opening. And let's secure that door with a 1x8 plate. This is going to be a bit challenging to lock all this together. And in this area, we're going to place down a pair of 1x6 plates to secure up this wall. Back on the rear, let's take a pair of 1x2x2 corner plates, place them in the corners to secure up our brake light assemblies, as well as a 1x4 plate to secure the wall. Now, for the bathroom door, we're going to take a 1x3x4 door, place it on top of the 1x1 brick, and I want to lock this together with a 1x6 plate. Starting in this area, we're going to take a 1x4 brick, place it right here, followed by a 1x4 plate. And in this area, a 1x4 brick and a 1x3 plate. A 1x1 Technic brick right next to the 1x4 plate. Now let's place a 1x3x4 door right by the entry door. This is going to be used for our bedroom. Now take a 1x6 brick. We're going to place a 1x3 plate and a 1x2 plate on the bottom, and I'm going to set this right above the door to lock it in place. In this area, a 1x2x2 corner brick and a 1x1 plate. In this area, let's start off with a 1x3 brick and a pair of 1x6 bricks. And a 1x1 Technic brick right here. Now let's continue on with a 1x3 brick and a 1x2 brick. Skip a stud and place a 1x4 brick, followed by a 1x2 brick. Let's take a 1x4 brick. We're going to place a 1x1 plate on this side, and I'm going to place this right in this area. Take a 1x4 brick. Let's place a 1x2 plate on top and place this right here. Now the 1x2 plate is going to help secure the top that we'll be building in a moment or two. For the refrigerator assembly, start with a pair of 1x1 by 1 2/3 brick with 2 vertical studs. Place them on top of one another, and let's slide in a 1x1 brick with 1 stud. Now I want to crown this off here with a 1x4 plate and finish it off with a pair of 1x2 flat tiles for cupboard doors. Let's make 2 of these. Now take a pair of 1x2x2 corner plates, slide these together, and we're going to lock them in place with a 1x2 radiator grill and face these off with a pair of 1x2 flat tiles. Now let's place these on top of the 1x1 bricks with studs. Now for the actual refrigerator and freezer, start with a pair of 1x2 plates, place these on top of one another, followed by a 1x2 brick. Take a 1x2 by 2x2 downwards angular plate, place it right on the top, followed by a 1x2 by 1x2 upwards angular plate, and we're going to continue on with 2 more 1x2 plates. Take another 1x2 by 1x2 upwards angular plate, place it right here, followed by a 1x2 plate. And let's place the 1x1 bricks with 1 stud right on top. Let's face these 2 areas off with a set of 1x2 plates, and this with a 2x3 plate. Now on the top, let's place a 1x2 flat tile, followed by another 1x2 flat tile, and a 2x3 flat tile for the refrigerator and freezer doors. For the top portion of the cabinetry, start with a 2x4 plate. Let's flip this over and place a pair of 1x2 plates on both ends. Now let's flip this over, and we're going to fill this area in with a pair of 1x2 flat tiles. Now I'm going to leave this stud here open. Next to it, I'm going to place a 1x1 plate and a 1x2 plate. Now to assemble the refrigerator assembly, let's place this right in like so, and I'm going to slide this part down in here. Now you may want to keep this on a flat surface, and you should have a little bit of an overhang on the top for the refrigerator cabinet assembly. For the upper kitchen cabinet, start with a 2x4 plate. Let's place a set of 1x2 plates on the left hand side. Let's place a 2x4 plate in this area. We're going to flip this over and place 2 more 1x2 plates. Now flip it back over again. I'm going to start on the left hand side. I'm going to place a 2x2 flat tile with a monitor print. I'm going to use this as my little television. Now, you don't have to do that. You can also replace it with a few 1x2 flat tiles. We'll place another 1x2 flat tile right here, as well as a 1x2 plate. And this is going to be for the 1x2 by 2/3 slope for our range hood. Let's set the refrigerator assembly right in this area, right next to the range. Just press that down. It should sit in nice. And we'll take our upper cabinets and we're going to place these on this portion of the cabinet assembly. Should just snap right in place. Let's assemble our shower head assembly, starting with a pair of 1x1 plates. We're going to stack these on top of one another. We're going to take a 1x2 plate with stick, place it on top of the 1x1 plates as shown. Then I'm going to take a holder with stick, place it on the shaft, and I'm going to place a 1x1 nose cone for a shower head. For the shower curtain, take a paper towel that measures roughly 2 by 4 inches. We're going to fold this up into accordion, and we're going to punch a hole on the top. I'm going to take a 4-stud long aerial and feed this through the hole. Just kind of twist that in there. Place a 1 by 1 brick with 1 stud, and on the left hand side place a 1 by 1 headlight brick. It may go all the way through, so you may have to adjust this. Let's place our shower head assembly right here. This will also lock in the refrigerator as well. And we're going to place our shower curtain right in this area. So we just need to bunch that up and shove that in there. So you just have to wiggle that and get it to fit. You may have to readjust these a little bit to get them to fit in there. So a little bit of patience is needed for this. You just have to start shoving things in until it locks in place. For the slide out, start with a 2 by 3 plate. Let's place this 1 by 4 plate on the left hand side. Now let's slide in a 1 by 6 plate and a 2 by 4 plate. In this area, place a 1 by 4 plate and a pair of 2 by 2 flat tiles, where this tile is on these 2 studs. Let's slip in a 2 by 6 plate, skip these 4 studs, and place a 2 by 2 flat tile. In the back, place a 1 by 6 plate and slide in a 2 by 6 plate. Now take a 1 by 4 plate, place a 2 by 2 flat tile on the left hand side, and set this right in this area, followed by a 1 by 4 plate to lock that together. Now in this area, a 1 by 3 plate. Let's take a pair of 1 by 4 plates, place them in such a way that this one hangs over by 1 stud on the left, and place it in the back top right. Now take a 2 by 4 plate, place a 1 by 4 plate as shown, and set this right in this area. Now in this area, place a pair of 2 by 2 flat tiles where they are hanging over, and slide in a 1 by 4 plate right on the bottom. On the right hand side, place a 1 by 4 plate, and in this area, a 1 by 1 plate to finish off this corner. Starting on the right hand side, place a 1 by 3 and 1 by 4 plates, followed by a 1 by 3 plate and a 1 by 6 plate on the top. And on the right, a 1 by 3 plate and a 1 by 2 plate to finish up this level. For the next layer, start with a pair of 1 by 4 plates and a 1 by 3 plate. And in the top left, a 1 by 6 and 1 by 4 plate. For the back cushions, take 6 1 by 2 palisade bricks. We're going to place 2 in this area. This is going to be the backs of the booth. Place 2 more right here, and 2 more for the back of the small sofa. Now take 3 1 by 2 plates, place them in the center of the palisade bricks. And let's finish those off with 6 1 by 2 plates with bow. Now as you notice, I used 2 different colors, one for the booth and one for the little sofa. Reason being is to kind of break up the colors a bit, and 2, well, I was running out of parts. For the dinette booth table, take a 2 by 3 plate and a 2 by 4 flat tile, place it as shown, and place it right above this opening. And surround that with 2 1 by 2 plates. Now on the left hand side, let's start with a 1 by 2 by 2 corner brick and finish it off with a 1 by 1 and 1 by 2 45-degree slope. In the back, place a 1 by 4 brick and a 1 by 2 by 2 corner brick followed by a 1x2 brick. Let's take two 1x2 bricks, place them on top of one another, and set this in the top left-hand corner. Now take two 1x1 bricks, place them on top of one another. Now let's make 4 of these, and we're going to set this one on the left. We're going to place this one right in this area right here, and 2 on the right hand side. Now for our back window, I'm going to set down 3 1x2x3 transparent black wall elements. Makes a nice tinted glass window. And to fill in the 4 remaining areas, 4 1x2x2 transparent black wall elements. Place these in the back. You can see now this thing's starting to take shape really nice. In the back, let's place down a 1x4 plate and a 1x2x2 corner to lock in this area, followed by a 1x2 plate. And on the right, a 1x2x2 corner plate to secure that window, as well as a 1x2 plate. Starting back on the left, we're going to place a 1x4 plate, be sure that it is hanging over a stud, and lock this area in with a 1x3 plate. Let's secure those windows in with a 1x4 plate, and right here, a 2x4 plate. Now that's going to be used to fill up the seam for the ceiling. We're going to continue on with a 1x2 plate, a 1x3 plate, and a 1x4 plate to wrap up the side. On the left hand side, place down 4 1x8 flat tiles. Now be sure to hold right underneath this 2x4 plate for extra stability to place these down. And on the right hand side, we're going to fill in this area with 4 1x6. Now be sure to hold underneath the 2x4 plate, as this will cave in. And in these corners here, a pair of 1x1 slopes. And these are going to be stops to keep the slide out from falling out. Let's flip the slide out upside down, take a 2x2 glider plate, place it right above the table for a light. And this will give us a little added support. Be sure to hold down under the tiles. Now we're going to add our bottom stops, starting with a 2x4 plate right underneath the sofa, followed by a 1x2 plate, a 2x2 plate, and a 2x3 plate to secure that up. And we're going to add a 1x3 plate here and a 1x6 plate. Making slide outs is not very easy, as you have to work 3 or 4 different directions at once. But there's the slide out all complete. Let's take a 1x10 plate. We're going to place a 1x8 flat tile on the left hand side where we have 5 studs on this side right here. Then place another 1x8 flat tile, followed by a 1x10 plate. Let's finish this up with a 1x4 flat tile and a 1x6 flat tile to complete the header. Let's set our slide out assembly inside, like so. And then we're going to take our header and place it on to where the 1x8 flat tile is on this side. Get that secured down. This will strengthen everything up and it'll start shaping up the walls. And the slide out should work. Let's place a 1x6 flat tile right here above the bedroom door, and a 1x8 flat tile right here on the top left. Now let's continue on with a 1x8 flat tile and a 2x4 flat tile to secure the fridge. And let's wrap up the top with a 1x4 flat tile and a pair of 1x6 flat tiles to smooth off the top. Let's construct the front portion of the traveler trailer. Start with a 1x6 plate. Let's place a 1x3 plate and a 1x2 plate in this area. Let's make 2 of these. Now take a 1x6 plate, place a 1x8 plate right on the top as shown, and we're going to place this in these two areas. In these two areas, a pair of 1x2 plates. Now let's set down a 2x8 plate in this area to lock this together and keep this straight, and a set of transparent orange 1x1 plates for reflectors. And let's place two 1x2 plates in this opening. Let's take a 2x3 plate. We're going to place a 2x4 flat tile right in the center. And we're going to hook it on to this 2x3 plate. Same thing with this one. Place the tile on the 2x3 plate and set this assembly right here. Now simply place this on the bottom portion. Now you may want to have to work this in very slowly so we don't break any parts. Now let's take 4 2x4 bricks with bow, place them in the remaining area. Now you may have to hold underneath to firmly secure this. I'm just going to tack these in first, and then I'm just going to flip this over and really mash that down in there. Now on this top portion, I'm going to place in 3 2x2 inverted tiles. These are going to act as fake cupboards for above the bed. For the propane tank, take a 2x2 round brick with 2 Technic holes. Let's place a 2x2 dome on the top, followed by a 1x1 round flat tile on the top. Now let's take a small Technic pin with stud, place it in one end, and place another 1x1 round flat tile. Now on the back, let's take a Technic pin with cross shaft. Now this is the friction pin type. Stick that right inside that hole. Now I want to finish off the bottom with a 2x2 inverted glider plate. Let's place the front assembly on the bricks with studs. So I'm going to have to slowly get that in there. Make sure it's pressed down firm. Our front's got a nice contour. And we're going to place our propane tank right in the cross shaft. So we'll see if we can line that up. Should slide right in place. For the fake awning, start with a number 6 90-degree Technic piece. We're going to slip a Technic cross axle with a friction pin on this end. Now I'm going to take a 4-stud long lightsaber sword, place it inside, and we're going to place a number 1 or a 0-degree Technic piece in like so. We're going to need to make 2 of these. Now take a female Technic pin connector with a slot in the back. I'm going to place a friction pin in like so. Now let's make 6 of these. I'm going to take one of these brackets and I'm just going to start placing these on. Now what I want to do is keep the notch in the back, as this part is going to face the wall of the travel trailer. We don't want to see that. So we'll just stick all these on there, and we're going to crown this end here with another one of these female Technic pin connectors. And take this, flip it the other way around, set that on like so. Now there's our fake awning. Let's finish it up with 4 Technic pins. We're just going to place each one of these in the holes. Now let's place our awning. Now this is going to be a bit tricky because we're going to have to line up a lot of stuff. The first thing I want to do is start working in the bottom slots first. Now you may have to adjust the height on this. Just slowly adjust that up until we get it to where it's locking in. And once that's centered, we can just snap these in place for a fake awning. And while we're here, we're going to take a 1x3 telephone receiver and use it as a handlebar, or if you need to make a call to get in the trailer. Let's take a narrow tire and a narrow rim. Let's place the rim inside the tire. Now let's make 5 of these in total. Now let's take a tire. We're going to place it on this Technic pin in the back. We're going to place the other 4 tires on the axles. So I'm just going to place 2 here, and I'm going to place these 2 here. Now it doesn't matter which way you want your tires to face. I want to have the lug nuts facing outwards. For the hitch stabilizer, take a stick with holder, place it on the front portion of the hitch, and a 1x1 nose cone. For the top, start with an 8x8 plate. Let's place 4 2x2 plates with bow on the left hand side. In this area, let's place a 1x2 flat tile and a 1x2 jumper plate, another 1x2 flat tile, followed by a pair of 1x2 plates. Get those down in there. Another 1x2 flat tile, 1x2 jumper plate, and a 1x2 flat tile. On the jumper plates, place down a set of 1x1 round flat tiles for vents and a pair of transparent clear 1x2 plates for a little fake skylight. In this area, let's place down 4 2x4 flat tiles. Now let's slide in a 1x8 plate right here, and we're going to take 2 2x4 flat tiles. We're going to have them placed in the middle where they're hanging over by 2 studs. Now let's slide in an 8x8 plate right underneath the 2x4 flat tiles, press that down firm, and place a pair of 2x4 flat tiles to secure this joint. Place a 2x4 flat tile right on the top, followed by a pair of 2x4 plates. This is going to be used to attach the air condition. And in this area, a 1x2 jumper plate, 1x2 flat tile, and 1x4 flat tile. Let's place a round 1x1 flat tile on top of the jumper plate, and a 1x2 plate right here. Now drop down a 4x4 by 2/3 plate or hood, and let's crown off these studs with a 1x2 radiator grill. And in this area, place 4 2x4 flat tiles. For this final section of roof, let's slide in an 8x8 plate right underneath the 2x4 flat tiles and press that down firm, and place a set of 2x4 flat tiles right in this area. Take a modified 1x2 plate with top holder, place it in this area, followed by a 1x2 flat tile and 1x4 flat tile, and finish up this area right here with a 2x4 flat tile. Along this side, let's place a 1x8 flat tile, and let's smooth off this corner with 4 2x2 by 2/3 plate with bow. Now for the television antenna, let's take one of these sticks with holder and one of these weird pieces to set it on top of the stick, and we're going to place a 4-stud long lightsaber sword right in the middle, and we're going to place this right inside the holder. Now this does rotate, makes a good antenna to rotate to get the best reception. Let's flip the assembly over, and in this right here in this area right next to the 1x8 plate, start with a 1x2 plate. Now we're going to be adding spacers to keep the top from sliding off, so that's what these are for. And we're going to continue on with 4 2x4 plates, and just note where these are being placed at. This is meant for the top to lock right inside of the living area, as well as to fortify up these joints. So just be sure to hold underneath the bottom. Placing the top on the travel trailer is pretty simple. It just snaps in place, and on the rear it snaps on the 1x2 plate. It is complete with adjustable antenna, and this completes the tutorial for the economy size travel trailer.